All right, my friends, I am begging you, literally begging you, please do not use the average yields on the 10-year Treasury or the 30-year government bond in your forecast for future return projections. Please, I'm going to show you right here why that's insanity run amok to do that. Any software, any financial advisor, any spreadsheet, I don't care what it is, that uses the average historical returns on bonds and extrapolates that for future projections needs to be freaking thrown out with it as the junk it is. So let's go into this. Oh man, this infuriates me. All right. So I'm working on my Wellington. I got so many books going in my head. One is going to be a blog post. I'm going to take all my blog posts year over year and put them into a concept book of financial planning. I've been wanting to do, I get this question, what's the one financial planning book someone should read? And it's always tough. I always like the Larry Kotlikoff one, but it's not quite enough. And I love it. It's not quite enough. Spend Till the End, Larry Kotlikoff and Scott Burns. I like Bogle's. Bogle's stuff is always great on investing, but it's not all encompassing. And I said, I'm looking at my thing right now. I got dozens and dozens of blog posts, which I think are top shelf. Not all of them, but the vast majority of top shelf from 2018, 2019, which I'm going to put into a book format, and I'm going to say, I don't even know. I emailed somebody who a friend of mine who's been in marketing, corporate marketing for a long time. I said, "What's a good title? The one financial planning book you need?" That's a little bit too cocky for me. And it actually is going to be Volume 1, 2018, Volume 2, 2019. Anyway, I'd love to hear your ideas. If you have a title for that, financial planning go-to book, something like that, just let me know. Anyway, so I'm going over so I got that book. I'm still working my You Can Retire in Wellington Fund, and I'm updating my year end for 2019 numbers. And of course, I'm doing my Roth conversion book too. So I got 3 different things I'd like to get out this year. All right, so I'm using the Schiller stuff from Robert Shiller over at Yale. All right, and you just type in Robert Shiller, what's his website called? Data, I just keep it here. I'll tell you what, hold on a second. We'll go to Robert. If you go to DuckDuckGo. All right, so if you Bing it, you can do Bing it, I guess. That's probably easier to say than DuckDuckGo, but I like DuckDuckGo. All right, so you're going to go to DuckDuckGo, Robert Shiller, Yale, data. Let's do that. Robert Shiller, Yale data. Yeah, there you go. It's online data. I'll tell you what, I'll pause. I'll show you. Here's DuckDuckGo. We'll type in Robert Shiller, Yale data, and this will be the website you can go to. Online data, Robert Shiller at econ.yale.edu. Look, at the end of the day, he's at Yale, he's so smart, man. If you've been following Yale at all, they are literally, what's the word, the Potemkin village anymore. Yale's just gone. 30 years from now, no one will look at Yale the same way. It's literally going to be the equivalent of a community college for sure. Actually, probably not so much because community college are actually teaching some skill set where Yale just is not. Mathematics and science maybe, but even the far left is infringing on mathematics and science now. It's just nuts. I was reading a blog post today about art. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed. If you graduate with an art degree from Yale, good luck, man. Anyway, so you go to Schiller here, and you can look up all his data. Just so much stuff in this guy. I freaking love it. So this one, I'm extrapolating this, and I'm keeping a running tally on Schiller stuff, and this is his long interest rates, and he's using a 10-year government bond. I don't know why you call that long. I call it intermediate, but that's fine. We're going to use the 10-year yields, and essentially what I'm doing is I'm extrapolating it each and every year for the ending month of the year, and I'm taking it to this year-over-year thing, and we're just adding it, going down here. This is me right here in the middle. This is the Schiller data, and you can see 1882 April, that is 3.62. June 1882 is 3.62. You can see that I'm just taking the end of the year and I'm putting it into my little cells here, and then we're going to average it over the course of the many years going back to 1871. So the 10-year Treasury averaged over the time since 1871 has averaged 4.54%. All right, but now if we look at the daily Treasury yields and we look at the last trading day of 2019 by the U.S. government Treasury.com website, we can see that in 31 December 2019, the 10-year is at 1.92. And we go there, we go crack out, and we can see it's 4.52%. Did you see how that works? So we get rid of this. Oops, sorry. Let's get rid of this. It's 4.54. 1.92 is 4.52. So literally 2 basis points drop off for the average going back to 1871. So if you're going to use 4.52 in your 10-year projections for the 10-year for the Treasury, that's insanity gone crazy. And the reason is because a freaking 30 year is only 2.39 at the end of 2019. So I mean, you are literally giving yourself a boost of that's over 100%. You're more than doubling, actually 2.5 times the rate you're getting on the 10-year Treasury if you use the average. Don't freaking do that, man. Don't do that. This is the one area why everyone thinks I'm overly optimistic, because I don't think you need $1 million. This is the one area I'm way pessimistic relative to what, it's not even pessimistic, I'm realistic relative to what other people are using. It's insanity to say we're going to use the average historical Treasury when you're getting it's actually the 10-year Treasury right now is at freaking 1 point. Oh, my wife just texted me about. All right, whew. I'm going to go to Costco here in a little bit and load up. And she just said street tacos are over with the other prepared foods. Because, man, we love some Costco street tacos. Don't tell anybody. If my wife wants to convince me to move back to Texas, you know what she has to do? She has to stock Mexican food. Oh, man. Oh, love me some good Mexican food. And believe it or not, there's a lot of Tex-Mex. And I don't mean Mexican food, authentic Mexican. I mean Tex-Mex. Oh. Look, I love my Mexican brothers and sisters, but man, nothing is better than Tex-Mex. Oh, hallelujah, 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 Texas Mexican food. Oh, and Texas barbecue. Now, all right, so going back to what I was yapping about. All right, so here, let me show you again. So how this works, if we take the Treasury, how do I do my black market? My goodness, man. All right, we got blue. This works pretty good. All right, so again, a Treasury, it works simple. Oh, that's what I was going to say. The 10-year Treasury right now, 1.57! 1.57 is a 10-year Treasury. That's indicative of of an economy that's not going gangbusters, that's for sure. As much as I love the Trumpster, which I do, 1.5 on the 10-year Treasury is indicative of an economy that is definitely not, it's not slow, it's slowing down. It's not going recession, but certainly not growing gangbusters. What's a 20-year doing, a 30-year doing right now? The 30-year, again, I'm just looking at the daily Treasury Yield, treasury.gov, 2.05. Whoa. That's freaking nuts. All right, so let's look at the 30-year Treasury, 2.05. Oops, that's what you're going to get. So what happens? That means you're going to buy a 2.05 in today's 2020 and 2049. You're going to pick it up. So you're going to put $100,000 in. You're going to collect $100,000 in 30 years. So 2020, you're going to put $100,000 into a 30-year Treasury. You're going to get 2.05% a year. That's $2,050 a year interest, and you're going to come back and pick it up 30 years from now, $100,000. That's literally how it works, and you're going to get that 2.05 for 30 years of interest. So you're only going to make $60,000 of interest on that 30-year Treasury. That's literally, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. On occasion, the price might go up, but it always goes back to par. I mean, that's how it works. And so anyone who's buying a bond and they're using the average returns on the freaking bonds as a projection for future returns, they're just not serving you right. Stay away from people who say, well, the average 10-year Treasury is 4.52. You're like, I'm not getting 4.52. I'm literally getting right now I'm literally getting right now someone just called. So what I say, 1.51. No, 1.6 as a close of business yesterday. That's freaking nuts, dudes. Don't follow those models. I cannot stress this. All right, well, we'll just cut that before the 10 o'clock mark. All right, we'll see you.